opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
There is a system of medicine that is failing us. It feeds off of sickness, and it's costing us more every year. More people arrive at its doorsteps daily as our lives become more hectic. We can't seem to slow down, and we throw more money at it, hoping it'll help. It is a model for sick care, where doctors get paid to treat illness, not to prevent it. It is just a broken system. There is a better way. Our ancestors knew how to respect and cultivate it. It encompasses true health, but means much more. It isn't merely the absence of symptoms. The key to health, longevity, more energy, and a better quality of life is at your fingertips. Vitality emerges from within. It is within our grasp. You are the missing ingredient.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kunanan. Now, folks, on this show, one of our major advocacies is the spreading of the awareness of alternative medicine. We on this show believe that where medical science has failed, as the growing body of scientific and empirical proof and evidence suggests, answers may be found in alternative traditional remedies. And tonight, the search for questions to longevity and wellness continues in our show entitled Wellness and Vitality. Joining us once again is Dr. Sunny A. Viloria, and he is the Medical Director of the BioVital Holistic Center. Good evening, Dr. Viloria, and welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Good evening, Buddy, and Siyempre, it's my pleasure to be back on your program.
Yes. We had you last week when we were
Yes.
talking about wellness tourism, and as I mentioned to the viewers last week, that was only a teaser of tonight's show, which is really going to go in-depth about what you're doing and about wellness in general. Okay. Let's, for the viewers who are just tuning in this evening, let's have a little background, sir, about yourself.
Well, I'm a graduate of medicine from St. Louis University, and then I had the opportunity or the chance to study natural therapies and traditional Chinese medicine from Brisbane, Australia. Then when I came back, I was working with different food supplement companies as consultant, and then as well as with the Department of Health. We were the one to introduce the Philippine Institute for Traditional Alternative Healthcare, and then we were able to formulate, give that 10 halamang gamot. Unfortunately, it not developed further. I would say, it's sad to say, no? Pero that has developed further, maraming matutulungang mga tao, no? Then, when I started talking at the radio, so many people were asking me, where do I do my clinic? So I don't want to do clinic anymore before. I would like to deal more into research, no, and advocacy. Pero yun, napilitan. Then when I started one clinic, a very small clinic, and now we expanded into 5 clinics, and then we developed already the health farm.
Okay. Doc, how did you, let's say, from being a Western-trained medical practitioner, what led you to alternative? I mean, what brought you to this course?
Maybe it's already, should we say, innate. Kasi when I was still young, I was not even brought to the hospital. Initially, I was brought to Albulario and then Chinese doctors in Binondo. No? And then my mother frequently goes to different albularios. Also, we even go to the provinces. I usually accompany her. So let's say my exposure to this brought me much nearer to this. And then there's another thing I cannot forget actually. There was, when I was on my fourth year as a medical clerk, there was a girl, I think she's only about 14 or 16, no? And then the mother just went out of the hospital just to borrow money because she badly needs to have dialysis.
Wow.
When she came back, the girl died already. No? So if I know if they only have the means or the money, that will not go that further. And at that time, the cost of dialysis is only 1,000 pesos. Just
Now
imagine
it's-
how much it
Now
is
it's
right
so
now.
prohibitive,
Mm.
to undergo dialysis.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I said, why not try other alternatives or other medicines that we can help the people?
Yes.
And then there was a seminar held here about the course. So I was given by my parents the money. So okay, you can study. So I studied there for 3 years.
Yes.
And then when I came back, it's quite already progressing the field of natural medicine.
Yes, that's a problem in our society today. When we talk about health and wellness, and if someone gets sick, usually, I mean, we're really limited in our mindset to Western
Yes,
medicine. I mean, this is what we know, this is what we're exposed to. I mean, this is what we're used to. Most of us are used to. And so we, as I said in my opening spiel, on this show, we are really trying to raise awareness that there could be answers out there.
Yeah.
As I say, there's no one way to skin a cat. No? There are other ways to skin a
Yeah.
cat. And who knows? Maybe answers can be found in alternative. Now, let's talk about your centers. You said you have 5 clinics now, and as well, and you have the farm. Tell us about what these centers are about. Tell us about the farm.
Well, our mission of the center is we treat, we teach, and we reach. No, we try to emphasize that we treat as much as possible the most natural way. We use a lot of food supplements, and then what we need actually in natural medicine, only 3 things, no? Cleansing, nourishing, and balancing of energy. Particularly the cleansing and the balancing of energy is not being emphasized so much with the Western medicine, and we're not even taught about it. But right now in natural medicine, that should be the focus, the balancing of energy. If you remember, I think the last time I was here, I was mentioning about how bad the effect of the electromagnetic field in our body.
Yes.
And then too much technology advancement, and we don't mind already because of the, let's say, the convenience it brings to us, but ultimately that will hamper or will give a big trouble with our body itself.
Okay, let's talk about that. EMF. What do you mean by this exactly? You're talking about cell phone signals,
Cell
about
phone,
Wi-Fi,
microwave ovens, and then
internet, wireless internet.
Yes, that's it. No? Before they used the term electromagnetic smog, smog itself, no, which is pollution.
Yes.
But now in America, their term is electromagnetic smog.
What effect does this have on the human body?
Well, it's like our body, for example, if you have undergone an ECG, electrocardiogram, what you can see there is the tracing of the energy, electricity in your body. So it's not limited only within your heart itself, but the whole body itself has certain pattern of electricity. Just like when you're doing acupuncture, they're trying to correct the imbalance of electrical flow in the body. So electricity really is a big, very important consideration for our body. Now, a very good example for that is the case of cancer.
Okay.
When you have cancer, actually what's happening, the use of food supplements, herbal won't be enough. No, you have to rectify or correct the electromagnetic flow of the body. No,
Okay,
so in the case of cancer, you can see if the electricity is not really that good, then the absorption, compare it like a traffic at
Yes,
EDSA.
yes.
No, when there is a traffic, the car cannot get in, as well as the car cannot get out.
Yes.
Right? And then when compared to the body itself, if there's if the electromagnetic field, we should say, is the traffic itself, no? Then there will be no nutrients which can enter the cells itself, no? And then continuously, if there won't be nutrients, the cells cannot have enough energy to kick out the cancer cells or the toxins, no? And that's the very reason why the toxins keep on accumulating, and the cancer, the tumor grows bigger.
Okay, let's talk about toxins. Very powerful word,
Mhm.
very scary word.
Mm.
When you talk about toxins,
Yeah.
what do you mean exactly? How do people accumulate toxins in the body?
Particularly from the food, from the environment, pollution itself, from the chemicals, even the medications that we're taking. These are the most common. And of course, stress itself can produce more toxins in our body.
And all these things is EMF, electromagnetic fields caused by cell phone signals and wireless internet. This
Yes.
also contributes to increasing the toxicity of the body.
Yes, we have the electromagnetic stress, which also affects our body.
Okay, now that's the thing with Western medicine. A lot of people have pointed out that it actually treats the symptoms of what's wrong. I mean, the symptoms, but it doesn't address the cause of the
Cause,
problem. This is where you guys in the alternative wellness practice come in.
I would say not only for the alternative, no, but I would emphasize more so on natural medicine. No?
Okay.
Treat according to the cause of the problem, not according to the symptom.
Okay.
Another example, if a patient has a diabetes, no, they're being treated only to lower down the blood sugar. But in natural medicine, diabetes is just not a problem with the pancreas. It is considered something that there is an elevation of blood sugar.
Yeah.
The elevation of blood sugar can also be secondary. There is a problem with the liver. There's a problem with the hormone.
Yeah.
There could be a problem with the pancreas itself. So there could be different solutions or approach for those three different organs.
Okay.
And that's the very reason why there are so many cases when the diabetic patient starts only with one medication. After 2-3 years, the patient already becomes resistant because of too much medication.
So more and more medicines actually
Yes.
contributing to increasing toxicity of the body
Toxicity, yeah.
and making and aggravating the problem.
Yes,
Okay, doctor, let's talk about how your centers address toxicity and how they help people with ailments such as diabetes, cancer. How do you? Let's talk about the centers first.
Okay,
What do you do in the centers? You said treat, teach, and reach. But what exactly do you do to the patients in these centers?
Particularly, I would like to center more on the teaching.
Okay.
Because you can see there are some doctors who just see the patients in just few minutes,
Okay.
but they do not get right away or the history of the patient themselves. They do not get the particular nutritional history of the
Okay,
patient.
okay.
They cannot be blamed because when I was still at the medical school, we're just given about 1 semester of training on nutrition. But in natural medicine, that's foremost. It should always be nutrition. That's the first thing you have to consider.
Okay.
Second is the cleansing. We were not taught at the Western medical school, about how important cleansing is. But mind you, in my clinic, even we just start the cleansing itself, it already boosts or improves the condition of the patient itself. No?
How do you do cleansing? I mean, how do you do that?
Cleansing particularly of the digestive system, of the blood, particularly the use of antioxidants, which is very popular right now. Most food supplements have antioxidants effect. And then cleansing of the kidney, as well as cleansing of the liver, cleansing of the, what you call this, the lungs. So
No, but how do you cleanse? Do you have a person go on a special diet? You give
Yes.
special
Yes.
supplements?
Yes, I do. That's what usually I do. No, not even diets only. Even just mere taking much water will already cleanse your kidney.
How much water would you recommend that people drink a day?
A day should not be less than 10 glasses.
10
no?
glasses.
10 glasses. Now, if you
That's a
have
lot.
skin problem, you should not be less than 15 glasses.
That's about 3 liters, at least 3 liters.
3 liters, no?
Yeah.
And then ideally,
least.
if you have problem with
Wow.
the kidney, initially you should take at least 4 glasses first thing in the morning. And it should always be lukewarm water, no?
Okay.
That's if you have a problem with the kidney, unless you are having edema. Now, if you have problem with the liver, you should have first thing in the morning cleansing using, it could be lemon or calamansi.
Yeah.
Just like 1 lemon in 1 cup lukewarm water, or 10 calamansi in 1 cup lukewarm water.
Just straight down.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, okay. How long do treatments last in your centers? You talk about 5 centers. What is the usual span?
It depends on how toxic the patient is.
Okay.
Just imagine if the patient is already 60 or 70 years old and he hasn't done any cleansing any time beforehand. So would you expect that they will be cleansed in just a matter of days? It takes about 1 week to 2 weeks, or even more sometimes.
Okay.
But in the cases of cancer, we have to continuously cleanse them.
Okay. Let's talk about Symbios holistic Symbios center, wellness center and sanctuary.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How is this different now from your centers?
Well, at this time, in Symbios, we're introducing more of the cleansing of the electromagnetic field.
Okay. And you call it the farm. Why do you call it the farm?
Well, health farm. Health farm. And then we're trying to introduce as much as possible local foods, the one we mentioned earlier about locavore, as much as we can.
Describe the place, doctor. What does the Symbiosis Wellness Sanctuary look like?
It's actually in top of the mountain, and there's a stream of water. There's a little falls, and then we have natural lagoon, so you can expect there's no chlorine in the water. And then there are lots of vegetations. Then the inspiration is actually Bali, but we're trying to adjust it more into our locals.
So what goes on in this center? You said you address EMF, electromagnetic field, and also
one thing we when we do, even when we are living in concrete environment, there's also a form of EMF being trapped within that environment itself. So all the materials we're using we use there are native materials, just like kogon, nipa, and pawid, and old woods.
So unlike your centers where people go for consulting or for getting advice on how to deal with certain ailments, in your farm, people actually go there, spend a couple of days for a total detoxification process.
We do complete cleansing already, electromagnetic field, and then organic cleansing the whole body itself.
I think we have some pictures that your staff sent to us to show us about what the Symbiosis looks like, and we'll play that now so that people can see exactly what Symbiosis is all about. So can we have the first photo? There. Okay. What is this, Doc?
Actually,
this accommodation.
That's actually one of the accommodation, the cottage. And you can see we have what you call kapis and kulambo, no? And then the roof is actually made of kogon, and then the roof is the ceiling kogon, and the walls are made up of bamboo.
Okay. Next photo, please. What is this, Dr. Biroya?
This is actually the basement of our pavilion, where the patient or the clients can relax.
Okay.
And then just at the side is actually the koi pond, and then what you can see, it's an overlook where you can see mountains. Even that's in San Mateo, but you can see as far as
I think we have
Araya.
photos of some of those views. Next photo, please. There, and then
that's you can see what do we have here. That's actually that's Meldison pala.
and you
Sabi niya,
serve
batiin natin siya.
and you serve here really all healthy food. Is it
Yes,
vegetarian or do you serve other types of food as well?
No, we cannot be strictly vegetarian.
Okay.
No?
Okay.
I think we have here chicken, and then red rice, and then pako. Pako is fern. That's the most popular food that we have there.
Next
Fern
slide,
salad.
please. Next photo. What is this, Doc?
Well, we're starting to do what we call the glamping, as they call, no?
So
Glamorous camping.
It looks like there is a bit of like a camping tent on the right, but
Yes.
it looks very back to nature, but also very comfortable.
Yes.
Next photo.
Well, I think that's already in the afternoon, no?
This is
that's
the
the
view you're
main
talking
pavilion.
about from your
Yes.
your center. Next photo.
That's the typical duplex or cottage that we have, no? You know, this is the experience I always would like to share with them, because when I'm in our house, which is made up of concrete and then aircon, usually I'm already awake about 2 a.m. But whenever I sleep here, I usually wake up about 5.
Tranquil
4
and
to 5.
just very
Yes.
serene.
It's the feeling that like hindi mo alam na buhay ka.
Yeah.
Totally, you just wake up because of the chicken.
Next photo,
So,
please. What is this, doctor?
Well, that's a natural lagoon. There's no chlorine and comes directly from the mountain.
Next.
That's
Another photo which
yeah,
is water
that's a
flowing
falls,
into the
yeah.
lagoon. Next. What is this, doctor?
That's the same place, the one which was. This is in the night already.
And this is where patients can just relax and lounge
Yes.
around and pretty much just chill out, no?
Yeah.
Next, please.
Well,
Wonderful views of the
yes.
forest.
I
How far is this, doctor, from downtown Metro Manila?
from Quezon Memorial Circle, it's about 20 minutes only if there's no traffic.
Okay, wow. I mean, imagine 20 minutes and you come to a place like this. Unbelievable.
There's waterfalls, there's natural lagoon.
Next photo. Again, more photos of the tranquility of the place. I see
Yes.
you incorporated many Eastern images and themes. Next photo, please.
So you can see chicken here, free-range organic chicken.
Free-range
And
organic
then
chicken.
I think those are herbs also on the
Okay,
pots.
Next. And this
That's
is the
a
koi
koi
pond you're
pond,
talking to us about. Okay,
We
next.
have, I think, about 3 or 4 koi ponds.
Next photo. Okay, so very nice, doctor. I mean, it looks very, very beautiful. Now, when it comes to treatment of diseases and of cancers, what modalities do you use?
In our clinics, around 5 clinics, we have what we call the laser biochylation, and then food supplementation, and we do a lot of cleansing. No? But always part of it, what was not shown there about the education, we try to teach. No?
Okay.
Just like from time to time, we teach dance therapy, music therapy, we do meditation, and Reiki or pranic healing, which is very good for particularly cleansing of the electromagnetic field of the patient.
Why is this important? I mean, when you say dance therapy, and music therapy, why is this important to someone who is sick?
Well, actually, it has something to do with the emotions, particularly with the music. No? From the study, they found out those plants, we're talking here of the plants where rock music are being played, the plants died. But when the plants, the type of music played to the plants are classical music, which is soothing, the plants invigorated. So the same for the human body, no?
Yes.
And then dance therapy, particularly, there are certain motions which can eliminate the knots of the electromagnetic field or electric current in the body.
What kind of patients come to your clinic or to your farm?
A lot, no? Particularly those who have, let's say, last resort already. They've been to
What do you mean by last resort?
They don't have the money anymore. That's one thing. And
Or
then
terminal cases.
Yes, terminal cases. They've been to so many doctors and hospitals, subjected to different diagnostic as well as therapies and
Invasive procedures and all that.
Yes, yes.
We're talking about stage 4 cancers and all that.
We even have some patients who are still undergoing chemotherapy, but at the middle of the chemotherapy, they don't want it anymore, so they go to our center.
That is a very controversial question, doctor, and I want to ask this to you because you're a Western-trained doctor, but you're also now alternative medical practitioner. Would you recommend chemotherapy or radiation for people diagnosed with cancer?
Actually, from the studies, it says there's equal probability or chance of survival, whether the patient had undergone chemotherapy or not.
Yes. What is the problem with chemotherapy?
The biggest problem with chemotherapy right now, I would say, is because it also kills the good cells, which helps to boost the immune system. Because in the case of cancer, there should always be two things. One, to boost the immune system so they can ward off the cancer cells. Second is to kill the cancer cell. Unfortunately, in the case of chemotherapy or radiation, both the cancer cells and the good cells, which are supposed to boost the immune system, are killed. That's why there are so many complications that sometimes the patient does not die of the cancer itself, but rather complication of the immune system going down.
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like cancer, like any disease, I mean, the first and foremost, what a person should do is strengthen the body, right? I mean,
it should always be part of
right.
it.
I mean, for the body to be strong to fight
Cancer cells.
the disease. Now, how can this happen if the very treatment you're undergoing is making you weak as well?
Yes, yes.
Right, and I think this is the big problem with radiation and chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy.
Systemic. I think they call it systemic chemotherapy.
We have systemic, we have oral, we have IV.
Now, in your centers, you guys have
Laser
alternatives
biochylation,
to this. What are some alternatives?
Laser biochylation, that's what we're using right now.
Yeah.
And then we also have the negative ion generator, which balances the electrical current flow of the system, and the beam ray technology, which is a matter of sound waves. It can kill the cancer cells.
Okay. Now, doctor, we'll definitely talk about all these modalities you mentioned, but we have to pause for a break.
Okay.
Guys, don't go away because more of Philippines Uncut and wellness and vitality when Philippines Uncut returns.